All right, man. What's up? All right, the weekend has arrived hours ago, but yes, it's here finally. And I'm gonna have another week, and then after that week, it's going to be a week of vacation. So I can't wait. Gonna have my tattoo finished, this part here, and yeah, man, rest my head from work and shit. It's been hectic as fuck, and yeah, I'm just I need a little bit of a break. The sunglasses are not to be arrogant or anything, but I hope they're gonna help a little bit with the light and shit. We'll see with the game. Probably gonna need to take them off for the game if I can't see shit. But anywho, let's boot the game and let's get into it. Gonna go for some of the finals. Okay, I've not played in a few days. I haven't played anything in a few days, to be honest, so yeah. It's been chillaxing after work. Oh yeah, because last week also, so every month there is a rotation for the office days, and thus far it's been either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday. I don't understand why they don't do Fridays, which I think Fridays would be fine, because you leave the office and you just go home and then you can just relax. But yes, it's been Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday. And last week we went to check the laboratory where the servers are, and basically my visit was on a Wednesday, so I had to go to the office on a Wednesday instead of Monday and Tuesday. So I didn't go Monday, I went Tuesday, and then I went Wednesday. So yeah. Did I turn audio offer? I did. You know what? That's actually fine. I'll just keep my own music on, and when the game starts, I'll turn the music off. Yeah, let's give it a shot with light first. Why not? Yeah, so also last week it got hectic as shit. We had a lot of stuff to be repaired straight up Monday, and there were issues with the systems and stuff, so it got crazy, bro. It got crazy. Hopefully next week we get it like smooth again. Oh yeah, just looking at the music playing, I need to check the new Ready or Not DLC. Doesn't seem to be expensive. I think it's like 10 euros or something. I need to take a gander at it. Yeah, but the sunglasses actually help with the streamlight shit. Now, whether they will help with the... There we go. Whether it will help with the game or not, or actually make it worse, we'll see. Oh, there's... Holy shit, all the lights in the world are here.
Gotta reload.
So that's 4 over there. Okay, so we need to go for A or B.
Attack that objective now!
Didn't mean to do that. Fuck out of here, bro. What the fuck?
Back in play.
Enemy spotted!
Oh, we got C. Nice.
Attack that objective now. You're a lifesaver. Placing a mine. Hold on, mate. I revive Thanks a bunch. Attack that grand vault.
Fuck. Oh, it's a little Smurf.
Delivering.
Cute. Fuck.
Enemy got me. Enemy got me.
Can I get a revive?
Go for that grand vault now.
Anything!
Holy shit, dude. Oh. One fucking hit, dude. So they're putting literally all their resources into this fucking spot, huh?
Go to that grand vault!
Ah.
Took a hit!
I think this is better, dude. Oh, that's mine.
No, this might burn.
What?
Taking damage. Reloading.
God damn it, bro.
They got me.
Dude, I'm stuck in so much ass with a fucking sniper. And these motherfuckers can't. Oh, man. I was sucking ass. They were sucking ass. Fucking hell, bro. Why can't we just, like, when it's these situations where they clearly have it down in terms of defense, why can't we just wait and stop losing tickets stupidly? Because I've always had, okay, not always, I've had plenty of teams who just push until they lose all the tickets or win. But I've had plenty of teams that when they reach like 1-digit tickets, they just don't push and they just stay there waiting. And I've never, that I've noticed, but I've never had a single team that once they start getting like a low amount of tickets, they just wait. No, they keep pushing. They keep like, it's like they're not even doing anything for the point. They're not playing heavy. They're not putting dome shields down so that they can get the point, which is not going to work because the shield is going to get damaged very fast. because their whole team was there from the very beginning. They weren't even defending D or E. They were just defending F from the very beginning. But it's just like, why can't I be in a team that just doesn't... Like, that's why I changed to sniper, because I figured I'm not going to do shit with my little MP5 because I'm playing light, and as soon as I push, I'm just going to get killed because they have way too many advantage points. So I figured I'm going to go sniper. I'm going to try to pick them off, or at least make them relocate or something, and not lose tickets stupidly. But my team just started losing tickets like crazy, man. But we're doing so good in the beginning too. We got A, we got B. As soon as we got A, somehow we got C as well, which had like 5 lights in there, some shit. Then we got B, then we pushed, and then they just started straight up defending F, like with teeth and claws and toenails and all that shit. Alright. Anyways, I'm liking the model, man. Kinda digging the model. What am I using? Proximity sensors. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we could have won that. We were a little bit more careful with our tickets. And it was Monaco, bro. I've been very lucky getting Monaco for the first map. But not lucky with the teams, bro. Now, to be fair, I wasn't doing much with Sniper. I was trying to pick him off, but it started off okay, and then it just got shitty. I don't know. Oh yeah, the music is off and I forgot to turn it on. Okay, let's do it for now. Maybe not. Ah, there it is. Or I'll try without the glasses now. Oof, it's a flashbang.
Our contestants are locked in and ready. Here we go.
Defending, okay, so not too bad. We got the turret. Where the fuck could I put this? I'm just gonna put it here. And we're already dying pretty fast. Not good.
Placing a proximity sensor.
The match's first grand vault is out, and both sides are converging. Defend down there. Affirmative. I'm gonna go down to...
Dude, how are they? They're killing our whole team.
Proximity sensor active.
Go up that, bro. Alrighty then. I'm gonna assume they're gonna push B for the most part. I'm gonna try to be smart here.
Rocket delivery. Reviving. Cover me. Placing a proximity sensor.
Tossing a sonar.
Proximity sensor online. Turret placed.
Going for the revive. Much appreciated.
Probably changing strategy here.
Agreed.
Getting me back up. Defend. Here.
Oh, that's us.
Greatly appreciated. There. I'm still standing for the defenders.
Sure. All right.
Whoa, was that rubber banding? The fuck was that?
Proximity sensors up.
Go in there, bro.
Enemy got me.
We're like 8 people. Where is our team? Are we getting all picked off? How does that even happen, dude? This game is... I don't even know, dude. I don't even know what's going on here.
Threat detected. Here. Enemy spotted. Down there. Up there.
I do feel like they're gonna put some focus on here.
Watching our six.
Forward to the next phase.
Actually, they didn't. They put focus on E. Wow.
Enemy over there. Taking damage.
Get fucked.
First gateway going to port here.
Man, I'm gonna go AK. The model's not proving worth, like, good for this shit.
Grand Vault D is
I got 7 bullets. Ah, there we go.
Enemy over there. Placing a motion sensor. Throw grenade. Deploying turret. Grenade out.
Murph.
Lightsaber.
Another fucking Smurf. These 3 pieces of shit are Smurfs. Brother.
One less enemy. Defibrillator.
defenders are scrambling.
It's just fucking Smurf galore, bro.
Big tank, I'm back.
Motion sensor.
Someone get that shit, bro. Can I not hit him? And they got this shit.
Time for the ultimate showdown.
3 fucking Smurfs. Unbelievable, bro. Don't fix your shit, Embark. Do not fix your shit.
Looking for movement. Transitioning into the next phase. Action.
Forgot I had the music on.
Stop it!
It's disarmed.
Teammates back! Motion sensor online! Defend that spot up there! Come on up! Watch out, there! Back in action! Threat detected! Took a hit! Gotta reload!
Oh yeah, that's smart. Bring it up when you're trying to capture it. That's pretty smart.
Jump pad ready! Enemy spotted! Down there!
Am I gonna try to get I would. Would this work from here?
Take a turret! Looking for movement!
Kinda does work.
Tickets are under pressure.
Placing a turret!
I'm gonna go for I.
Motion sensor active!
Yep.
Boys, the defenders better rush to the third Grand Vault high.
Going up there! Bring it!
Alright, for tickets. We got a good thing going here.
Motion sensor online.
Hold position up there. Watch out up there. Danger up there.
Thought that could be smart, but I actually know. Maybe here.
Placing a proximity sensor. Let's get
Alright, one more. Uno más.
Revive me, please. Closer from the defenders.
Wow, a victory in Caesar Rising. That's crazy. That is crazy. Was this match that they had like the Smurfs? Yep. Three fucking at least three. And you could well, but they lost and shit and whatever. I mean, this is a very like shitty score for Point Break. But at the same time, it's like there's no way in hell, dude. Like, I can't see it here, but there's no way in hell that you're like level 50 like 50 and you have 300 something wins. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. What level am I? 63. How many wins do I have? Is something saying like new or whatever? I'm not sure. Here. Look, I'm 63 and I have 268 wins. And more than half of these wins were after level like 53, 54, 55, when I started to actually understand the game a bit better. And to be fair, I started also playing Point Break and less cash out. Because I still don't understand that much. But yes. It's very sus. There was like another guy that was like level 30 some shit and he had like also 300 something wins. Like how do you have 300 something wins at level 30 something, dude? Like, come on, dude. And in every fight, the reason I say there's like in every fight you could tell like they knew what they were doing compared to, I guess, me. But yeah, dude. More Point Break or... I do want to get somewhat decent at cash out, but the problem with cash out is that like every goddamn time I go play cash out, it's like 4 out of 5 games go horribly wrong, and it's usually because of me. Tends to be my fault. And that really makes me feel self-conscious and hate myself, and I cry at night before I go to bed and everything. So, you know what I mean? That's why I don't play it that much. But I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like one thing they could do, and I feel like this is something that a lot of the... Hold on, there's something here. I feel like that's something that a lot of the veteran finals players are gonna go against, which is basically having like kind of like Overwatch has, where you just match, you look for a match and the mode could be whatever. And I feel like at this point they have enough game modes that it could actually be like a fun, fair experience. You could have matches of cash out, you could have matches of point break, you could have matches of maybe not power shift, but you could have matches of the other ones with like the vaults and the cash outs and stuff like that. Which the banquet one could also be a thing. You know, like you would instead of cash out or ranked cash out, it would just be like ranked or competitive or whatever, and it would just be like World Tour. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be fun. The thing about Point Break too is that I'm noticing a lot of Smurfs in this shit. Like in the past 5 games, I've noticed a lot of it. I didn't really pay attention to it before I started watching the videos and shit, talking about it, but it is a big problem. I mean, the accounts are free to make, dude. If I wanted, I could just go make a new account and use the knowledge that I have now, that I'm level 63, and I use that knowledge and the somewhat slight skills that I have, and I just shit on some people, others not so much because they're higher level than me and know the game better than I do. But yeah, dude, I could do it. Anybody can do it. You can just create a new account and it's a brand new world. But, you know, I think Smurf, like there are some games where smurfing is not such an issue. There are other games where smurf, like this one, because there's no, like, besides ranked, there is no skill-based matchmaking. You know what I mean? So it's rough. It's pretty rough, and Point Break does not have a replay feature, so you can't even like look at what others are doing to sort of see. Because I think I had, I don't remember if it was a power shift match or a world tour or something like that. I had a match where like I was playing against this guy, and he was just like super far away, just shitting on everybody with a V9S. I was like, that's not normal, bro. Not the V9S, the other one. The burst pistol. The 93R. And this motherfucker was just like from across the map, just like and just killing entire teams just like this. So I reported his ass and action was taken against him. And I know who it was because, you know, I barely report people on here. Unless I'm really, like, either super certain or very suspicious. Otherwise, I don't really report people. So that's why I hope they work on a replay system for Point Break in the future. With more maps, replays, and all that stuff. I feel like a lot of people are using Point Break to just come in here and just like smurf, cheat, and do all that shit. with literally no concerns. I'm questioning things, you know. Do I want to go do a world tour? Fuck it, let's do it. This is world tour, right? Yes. This is ranked, this is quick cash, this is world tour. Jump pad could be good, I think. With Soul, is this a map? There's plenty, I think there's plenty of close quarters in this, I think. But I'll rock the P90 if it doesn't work out. All right. Brother.
Gas my arm.
I'm reloading. Creating a field.
I'm gonna revive. Hold on.
Oh, come on, brother.
Jump pad deployed. You've been successful. Thank you. Back in action.
stuff, man.
Made an awesome steal there.
I'll just go P90.
This is exactly what the shock is.
Stormball 3!
This deal led straight to a clean cash out. Confirmed.
Who's the other guy? Oh, he actually left. All right.
Gas mine set.
Cash out C, go!
The shock and awe just made their return to the
Agreed.
They look like they mean business. The retro should prepare for some retaliation.
Oh no.
Let's go for cash box 3.
Got a cash box.
Toxic trap set. Gas mine deployed.
Moving, follow me!
Clear. Using
Thanks a
defense.
million!
Gas mine time.
They let us dominate. The mighty have the cash out back.
Drop the mine.
You're leaving this behind? I don't think that's a good idea. Brother can still steal it.
Going over there.
So we're gonna do this with 2 people? This is more than lost, bro.
First fault has emerged. The heat is on.
Ball 5!
Yep. Arming a mine. Gas mine deployed.
Stay there, okay?
Nah, we just do it's impossible, bro. This is impossible.
Let's get airborne.
Damage might have got a bit behind there, Scotty. We are now 13
30 seconds left. Contestants, change the game.
I mean, we're gonna be second place, right? Did the other guy leave as well?
Charge into the next stage.
I think he did.
Viewers, this is heating up.
The mighty are moving on as well, roaring into the next round with pride.
I think he did. Well, it's gonna be shitty as fuck. I mean, if the other guy left, to be fair, we all should leave, actually. We should all leave, actually. Like, we're not gonna do this. 2 people against the others. But if he stays, I'm gonna stay, man. Fuck it. He's gone. Right. Oh no, he's still here. Okay. All right, well. Nope, he left too. All right. I'm not gonna stay solo in the fucking world tour, bro. Nah, man. Fuck that. Yeah. See, that's why I don't like cash out, dude. It's I don't know, bro. It's just not fun for me, dude. It's not fun for me. There's so many little things that the enemies can do that just fuck up your entire game. And it's just not even like the being better than you and shit. It's just there's a lot of little fucking things they can do to just fuck up your shit. It wasn't this case. It wasn't this the case. We just had one less. So we still managed to qualify, which I think is pretty good. But at the end of the day, man, it's still, you know, it's just meh. I feel like cash out is fun if you have a team. That's what I feel like. I feel like cash out is fun if you're playing with people and like maybe even just communicating, if there's communication with randoms and shit and they actually talk and you know, they listen, you listen, everybody's like sort of in chemistry and shit. It's fun. Point Break is like the you don't have many people to play with and it's just you just want to play the finals. It's the best one to have fun and you don't have a team or you don't have people to play. Point Break I think is the best one because it's just like it's chaotic. It's it can be very random. There's a lot of destruction possibilities that kind of disrupt getting the points. I think Point Break is like, for me, is my shit, you know? As someone who doesn't have like people ready to play all the time, I'd say so, yeah. Power Shift is a bit meh because it's like I've caught so many like parties of 5, 4 to 5, and it's just like it makes it impossible. It makes it impossible when you're all randoms and the enemy is like a either a 5-man or 4-man, and it's just like they're all coordinated. They know where to go, what to do, who to focus, and yeah. But it's another one that with people it can be fun. So Point Break, I would argue, if you want to jump into the finals and just have some fun, play Point Break. Just say fuck it to cash out, fuck it to Team Deathmatch is still, it's still whatever. But I think they should do I like a free-for-all deathmatch, just straight up deathmatch. Everyone against everyone. Instead of team deathmatch. Alright. Play some more Point Break. Maybe some heavy now. Song of Mana. Come on, man. Only one Monaco, 2 Caesar Horizons.
That's it. First round.
Come on, brother. Get fucked. Homie thought he was safe.
They're down.
I'm sure this guy's... Yep. Mm-hmm.
Gotta contest this. Enemy frag out. Frag incoming.
Attackers are moving on tickets.
Fuck.
Reloading.
Back in action. Enemy spotted. Shielding. Hurry inside.
God damn it, dude. I'm trash. Oh, another Smurf.
Scanning that area.
That's the problem with Point Break, bro. There's nothing that I can say is perfect now in this game, bro. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's still fun, but it's just there's so many fucking issues, dude. We could have won this right now, dude. Fuck.
The attackers breached the line and take phase 1. Great execution.
They're gonna go for D. I think it's a long distance to come for F. So maybe they're gonna focus on D and E first. I would, but at the same time, it's like maybe no one's gonna be expecting them on F, so they're gonna try that. Yep. They're definitely focusing the and E. I don't think we can defend this shit.
Flashbang out.
Fucker. And they focused F. Interesting. That's another Smurf.
Got that one.
It's fucking crazy, dude. It's crazy how many of these motherfuckers are in this video game, bro. Holy shit. Just there's not like no harm, no foul for them, dude. It's just whatever. Bitch.
Going for the revive?
Holy fuck, bro.
Threat detected.
I think I might have to say like fuck this game too, bro, cuz this is just it's just Smurf galore, dude. Cash out is not fun for me. This shit's just fucking Smurfs and Sweat Lords now, because it used to be very fun in the beginning, but now it's no longer fun. This is just a bunch of fucking sweats now. It was very fun in the beginning.
RPG fire. Dome shield.
Like, I got 3 motherfuckers pushing me, and it's probably another Smurf. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. Only has like 20 something wins, but probably is. The fuck am I gonna play, dude?
Tickets are trending down for the attackers. They'll want to tighten up.
Shields up. Lifesaver, thanks.
Another smart. Of course. It's just Smurf galore, dude. They either win.
Grand Vault G goes live.
I don't even know, man.
Final phase.
They're tracking us.
I know all the Smurfs are like playing together and shit. I think Smurfing is so pathetic, bro. Smurfs are so pathetic little losers. Like, if you're smurfing, you're such a fucking pathetic loser, bro. Because you're just saying that, like, you're not good enough to play on your main account anymore. Like, you've reached the point where you just suck now, basically. That's all you're saying.
Creating a safe. Enemy over there.
They had 11 tickets and they wiped out my whole team, keeping the fucking 11 tickets. That's... And they're not focusing the point, which is the whole point. Oh, man. He's just... pathetic. Fucking pathetic, bro. Like, you can look at the difference in scores and shit. It's crazy. If it's like usually one smurf in an enemy team, it's like you can kind of take him down. I get we can also have them in our team, but like... You'd be winning if you did. You know what I mean? The fuck is this? It's so fucking girly, bro. What the fuck? Literally, yeah. Okay. I don't know, man. I love the finals and shit, but they need to fucking put their foot down and start saying, like, let's improve our shit. Because cash out is not fun, at least for me. I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about other people. All right? I can't speak for others. I know some people out there love cash out and all that shit. So I'm speaking for me. I think cash out has way too many variables that are easy for enemies to get into, to say, oh, that team, I don't want that team to win, so I'm going to do my best to make sure that team loses. So like if you have a team that you see that it's better than yours, or that it's better than all of the other teams that you faced, you're like, okay, so we're going to try and make these guys that are kind of worse win, so that the game is easier for me at the later stage. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. It's very stupid in my opinion. Like, I don't see how that's fair for everybody. I don't think so. So yeah, there's a lot of variables, a lot of things that can happen in a cash out that just make it very questionable for me to enjoy. But like I said before, with friends, cash out can be awesome. But solo, it's a horrible fucking experience. It sucks. Point Break is the one that I say is the best for playing solo. If you love the finals and you just want to play some finals, you just want to get some finals in, I would say that's the best one. But at the same time, it's full of smurfs because there's no replays, there's nothing like that. It's full of fucking smurfs. I'm sure there's cheaters on this shit. because there's no replays. So it makes it also not fun. And then you have like parties that are just beating your ass like crazy. You can't do shit about it. Like you literally cannot do anything. So yeah, it's also becoming like frustrating at this point, and there's only 3 maps. At this point there should have been more maps. I don't know why the fuck there's only 3 maps considering the success of this game mode, because like a lot of people jumped into it. I mean, even Bankit was like getting longer queues than Point Break. So yeah, a lot of people I think love Point Break, me included. I think it's one of their best modes. I think they should work on it, make it better, make it, you know, let's see what season 10 holds for Point Break. But yeah, with the Smurfs, with the parties and all that shit, it makes it pretty unfun. It's just like you're going into a match, you play for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and you've already realized that, okay, this is lost. It could be a win, but it's more likely than not a loss. You know? Power Shift, same shit as with the squads. I don't know what the fuck happened. They said at some point, I think during season 8, they said that they adjusted stuff so that you don't go, like solos don't go against parties so much. That's just a bunch of bullshit. I feel like that was a bunch of bullshit because it worked for 2 days, I think. I think when they said they released this, I think they said that they released this, and then they said they didn't say shit and they just turned it off. They just completely got rid of that because it worked for 2 days and then it didn't work anymore. So when they said that they released it, I was like super excited. So I jumped into the game. I played like a couple of matches, and I was seeing that yes, there's not a lot of parties in this shit. So I was excited about it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play more of the finals now because it actually feels a bit more fair now, you know? And then I think like 2 days later, back to the same shit. Like parties all over the place, going against randoms. I'm not able to do shit. I'm just dying left and right, and I don't know what the fuck's happening. So I think they turned it on for a few days to say in the patch notes that they were turning it on, and then just quietly turned it off and said, you know, yeah, we don't have many players, so you guys got to put up with that. But I don't understand this mentality, because it's like, if you don't have many players and you make the experience for the little players that you have, the little players that you're gonna have are gonna fuck off. There's the people that are sticking around to this game is just because they love it so much that they want to like see it succeed. But there's a lot of things that they're not grasping onto. You know what I mean? So yeah. Team deathmatch, it's I mean, it's team deathmatch, bro. It can be fun, it can be annoying. It's always team. There's no free for all, there's nothing like that. So it's always teams and shit. Teams can just be fucking parties and stuff, and parties come along, shit on you. You don't even know where you are. You've been shit on so hard that you don't even remember who you are anymore. So yeah, head to head, it's probably like one of the most fair modes here. You know, yeah, man. It's just I don't know if this is like a constant of multiplayer games, or if it's just like the actual state of the game. Because if I jump into Overwatch, I'm also not going to have fun. I guarantee you that. You know? I will also not have fun in Overwatch. That's mainly the reason why I haven't played in a bit. But yeah, dude, like the finals has been the multiplayer game for me, at least in the past few months. But I don't know if I'm just learning about how it is now and how frustrating it can be, or if it's actually, but there's a lot of people talking about the same shit. You know, that's the thing. There's a lot of people talking about the same shit. So I don't think it's just me. It's just how a lot of players feel. And I think it's awesome that our creator succeeded. It's awesome that our creator succeeded. But why not have 2 games succeed instead of 1? You know what I mean? Like, put your mind into making the finals the best game it can be. Because then you're actually gonna have like a good repertoire. Or else it's just gonna be like, oh yeah, you know. Yeah, we released our creators and people loved it. And whatnot. But we also had the finals and people loved it as well, but then it just fell to shit because stuffs and things. Oh man. Oh man, oh man. Now I'm wondering what to jump into. Really is the state of gaming nowadays, isn't it? You play a game that you actually enjoy. You come to realize there's plenty of issues with it. And then you're just like stuck in this limbo of looking for games to play. And you don't know what the fuck to play. Because also you're kind of like, if you're live and shit, you don't want to play something that's like too boring or whatever. Screw it. Let me look at something first. Alright, fuck it, man. Let's try Overwatch. There's so many Overwatches, dude. Screw it. Probably not gonna have fun with it, but hey. Fun is overrated. In 2026. Isn't this like $60 or something? Yes, it is. Fucking $60 for this. Of course it's Kiriko. Of course. The fuck, dude. $60 fucking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skins. Motherfuckers lost their minds, bro. Try miss yours, see how that goes. Pretty sad the state of gaming nowadays. This is why I'm being more and more towards like indies that I actually enjoy, not like any indie.
Do not start the mission yet. The mammal has something in his teeth. Okay, go ahead.
Where you at? Where the fuck you at? Whoa.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds. Flashpoint unlocked.
two divas.
Let's go.
Oh man.
Strike from above. Positioning.
爪の鍵爪を解き放て
Enemy turret ahead.
Heat check confirmed. Hunting them down.
Tools in hand, brain in key.
Face the sunlight.
Enemy turret ahead. Help!
Scurry away, little mouse.
I've high hopes for you.
Dominus has arrived.
Enemy turret down. Maximum power. Someone round here has to keep an eye out.
Killing pylons.
Pins fold and ready to go.
Palace. Secure. Next, flashpoint. Guardian.
I'm overloading. I'm hotter than a furnace. Turning up the heat.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Over here.
Oh, I got pushed. Okay.
Double kill. I always deliver.
At your side. Light over here.
Healing pylon out.
Why is this fucking kid focusing my ass, bro? The fuck out, bitch. Wait, they got rid of the fucking other thing? Bro, what the fuck is my team, dude? They're dying in the fucking back. Like, they're not even in the fucking point they're dying, dude. Every game is bullshit, bro. And this fucking character again.
I've got your back.
Shit, just making fun of me at this point.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds. Flashpoint unlocked.
What the fuck are you pushing there, dude? Back the fuck off.
Bob is here. Lucky you. Got you in my sights.
Heads up. I saw that. Not bad.
Careful.
I'm on fire. I'll pretend I didn't.
Secure. Next, flashpoint.
Attack the objective.
I greet you.
I'll keep this fire burning.
In 10 seconds. Thanks for patching me up.
Over there.
Flashpoint unlocked.
Watch here. Thank you.
Why did I push theirs just by myself? I don't know what the fuck does their ult do though.
Vengeance is all I have left.
Right.
My allies will return soon.
Moira,
Have a dragon.
ready to execute. Endless.
Do something!
No.
Reaching peak performance.
Ascending.
This ends now.
Thanks for the upgrade.
Let's get back to
Thank you, Dr. Ziegler. Thank them. Finishing them off.
I'm bad. I suck. I'm just trash. I'm bad. I'm terrible.
We will crush them.
God damn, that's slow.
Someone better get a fire rate because I'm on a roll.
We actually won? Holy fuck, there's no way.
Play of the game.
Last play here. Yep.
Pinpoint accurate. This ends now.
Bitch was looking for me, dude. Dumb fuck.
Headshot.
Yeah, that's the thing about this game is that even though we won that match, it just didn't feel rewarding whatsoever. I don't know. Yep, I'm also done. At least I have more fun in the finals, bro. I don't even with all the bullshit of the finals, I have more fun in the finals than Overwatch. It's I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe I outgrew it or something. For so long, I stuck with Overwatch despite like everything else, mainly because my PC couldn't like play much more, to be honest, in terms of multiplayers. Yeah. But at the time, man, until like 2021, I really stuck with Overwatch. But since then, I think that time where I couldn't play it because I moved and I only took my laptop with me, and I couldn't really play Overwatch 2 because it wasn't available. It was available on Boosteroid, but like I tried it on Boosteroid and it was horrible. The lag was incredibly insane. So yeah, dude. But I don't know, it's a weird state to be in. I really do enjoy, like, I really do enjoy the finals. Like, legitimately love the finals. Like, I think the gunplay is awesome, and I think a lot of people love the finals. They're just getting tired of the way it is as it is right now, just like I am. But when it comes to like multiplayer games, That's the best I got, to be honest. Like, out of everything else, that's honestly the best I got at this point. Overwatch has just become this it's just skins, it's milking players as much as possible. I don't know how people are so blinded by change that they change the menu and people suddenly think this is a new game. It's not. It's the same shit that it was before they changed the menu. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It has become like a milking cow for Blizzard, and it's, you know, I don't have the patience for it anymore. And even especially after seeing that the game was ruined because the tards, Bobby Kotick, and all those dumbasses basically brought the game to ruins because they were outselling the Overwatch League to billionaires and shit, like selling it as if it was going to be like the next big thing in esports and even sports in general and shit. And that's basically what led Overwatch down to the ruins that it currently is. So, yeah, dude. Not good. Not good. Maybe I'll just watch some shit for for a bit. And then I'll call it. Why not? All right. I was actually watching some like very interesting videos from the channel Cyber News, where they're talking about like the TAO, the fuck, what was it? What is this? What are you talking about? Oh. Tailored Access Operations. Yes. Which was a unit of the NSA. Basically where Snowden worked and all that stuff. It was basically like the big dogs of basically exploitation in secrecy. From what I heard, they were the guys behind Stuxnet, which was insane. Let me actually check this out. I actually love this kind of shit. I'm just too stupid to learn cybersecurity. I don't know if I'm too stupid or I'm too... How do I put it? I lose focus fast, I think. Right, sure. So let me check this one. The most secret US hacking operation, eligible receiver 97. All right.
June 11th, 1997. 25 nautical miles north of Guam. USNS National Pride, a U.S. Navy strategic sealift vessel. Displacement, 44,330 tons. Crew,
Big boy.
38 civilians and 10 technicians. Cargo, classified. 10:30 Zulu. Brief radio contact indicates a rendezvous with a ship of similar size, origin unknown. 10:35 Zulu. All contact with National Pride is lost. 10:40 Zulu. NSA intercepts a message from a known Iranian asset operating in Canada. The message mentions successful hijacking of national pride by friends. At the same time, a satellite tracking station, Anderson Air Force Base, Guam, comes under attack from unidentified assailants. The perimeter is breached. Guards are overwhelmed, captured. Simultaneously, Kayana Point Satellite Tracking Station, the island of Oahu, is attacked and overrun. 11:30 Zulu. National Pride docks at Guam, unscheduled and unauthorized. An individual known as Vahid boards the vessel. Shortly after, using the vessel's radio, he reports success to the contact in Canada. Vahid's team just pulled off the largest attack on United States soil since World War II. The execution was flawless. Most importantly, nobody in the American government found out what was going on. The military barely understood it was under attack before multiple bases were captured. But Vahid does not realize how close he was to failure. 3 hours before the start of the operation, 7:33 Zulu, Deputy Director of the NSA, Thomas McDermott, arrives at his office in Fort Meade, Maryland, USA. He knows something very bad is about to happen. It's the middle of the night. The parking lot is empty. In the entire complex of buildings, only one room is lit, one cubicle. McDermott enters and confronts a man sitting there, Richard Marshall, legal counsel working at the NSA. McDermott knows him personally, but also he's heard of rumors, office talk of a spy in the building, a sabotage operation to undermine the entire communications network of the United States Pacific Command.
Damn.
If such an operation succeeded, Washington could lose contact with all bases in the Pacific. All of them. An adversary would be able to launch another Pearl Harbor, and the DoD would be none the wiser. And now Marshall is right here, in front of him, sweaty, distraught, nervous.
Music should be lower.
He's up to something. Something bad. You know why I'm here, right? Marshall asks. McDermott comes closer and reaches out for a handshake. Yes, of course. He's in on it. The deputy director of the NSA is in on it. The whole operation. The largest attack on United States soil since World War II. An attack which took down all communications of the American military and made it powerless to resist actual military invasion by a foreign state. Only 40 people, including 25 hackers, were involved in it. And it took them 4 days to hack the entire infrastructure of their own country. From then on, the world will never be the same. There was no rollback.
Well, this
to
is
the
like a
90s.
series.
MTV is showing Beavis and Butthead. You're eating pop cereal
Yeah.
straight from the box. And if you're on your best behavior, you have access to the family computer for 1 whole hour. And then you'll probably hear the sound. The World Wide Web is taking shape. A place
You know, I never had a family computer because it was my computer because I didn't grow up with like parents. I was raised by my grandparents, so when I got a PC, they didn't give a fuck. I was the only one using it. But I didn't have internet until 2002. But I got the PC in 2000. And yeah, so from 2000 to 2002, I did play some games on it every now and again. It was mainly like the demos that came with the magazines. But yeah, only got internet, and even then, we got internet. But at that time in 2002, you had to be very careful with how much you use the internet, because 1 megabit, like more than what was allowed, and the bill would skyrocket.
to learn, play, make friends, but this information superhighway has a bit of a dark side to it. People are slowly getting aware of hacking. Holy cow. Usually, this awareness didn't come through personal experience. Very few internet users actually encountered those hackers, but they have seen them on the screen.
Hackers. War games.
Fun fact also, when I was a kid, in my teenagers, my adolescence, I wanted to learn how to hack because I would see like so much stuff about it, and I wanted to like find books or something, but it was not easy where I lived, and I just didn't know anyone who could like tell me something. So all my research online, even though I was a kid, I wasn't dumb to just go like bonkers. It wasn't easy like it is today. Like nowadays, bro, you got multiple websites, you've got YouTube videos telling you about it, you've got so much. Because even if you want to be like an unethical hacker, you can go through the process of learning it through ethical hacking, and then you can just like sort of progress to the other side of unethical stuff. But back then it wasn't easy, man. Back then it was not easy. I guess back then it was more trial and error shit. Yeah. Because I also don't think there was like much from, you know, what you use nowadays, like Kali Linux and things like that. I guess it was a lot of trial and error and shit. But you had to have like some foundation to know about it, you know? It wasn't just, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like you're either a genius and you go through Windows and you go through the registries and all of that shit, and you eventually learn about it. Because if you don't have a foundation for it, how are you going to learn that? Is it possible? I don't know. It wouldn't be possible for me, so.
Now, this one is a bit more important than the others. Sneakers, a thriller comedy about rogue agents, hackers, spies, and the National Security Agency. In September of 1996, Mike McConnell, the director of the NSA at the time, actually went to a local cinema to see this movie. We don't know if he thought it was any good, but we know that one scene in this movie stuck with him.
The world isn't run by weapons anymore, or energy, or money. It's run by little ones and zeros, little bits of data. It's all just electrons.
Generally, by the mid-90s,
that's the state of the
everybody
world
understood
now.
that information warfare is the future. It's just that nobody knew what this kind of warfare really was. For decades, the NSA viewed it through the lens of signal intelligence, intercepting radio and phone signals, deciphering secret messages, and trying to prevent the adversaries from doing the same. Some added propaganda to that, spreading messages that would misinform the enemy, cause confusion, and disallow your own communication channels from getting corrupted. But what if there was another layer to it? A new medium, a worldwide superhighway that has changed the way information is collected and distributed, a whole new domain where the only kind of warfare you can do is information warfare. Inspired by sneakers, McConnell tried to turn the NSA's attention to that domain. He made screenings of this scene mandatory to the NSA's top officials and established a title of the Director of Information Warfare, a top manager responsible for curating the NSA's efforts into this new field. McConnell left the NSA before its digital transition was complete, but his successor made sure that it got finished. That successor was Kenneth Minahan. Minahan came to the NSA with a million ideas, and cybersecurity was at the top of his priority list.
And attacks against our networks can come from virtually any point in the globe. Like in real estate, it's location; in this business, it's access. And where the access occurs is where your vulnerability is.
But his excitement was immediately crushed. His power was not absolute. The agency was full of old dinosaurs, and they weren't interested in what he had to say. Minahan's frustration grew. He wanted to prove that the future is really about who controls the information. And soon, he came up with a way to open the eyes of his superiors in a very spectacular manner.
This is before data brokers and all that bullshit. And now look at where we are today. God damn, dude. You registering to a website can basically, if a data breach happens, can basically just put you in danger by your shit being sold to data brokers and stuff. That's crazy. Started here.
Before we discover what Minahan had in store for us, we put a lot of effort into our content. So if you enjoy our explainers, don't forget to subscribe and like the video to support the channel. Thank you. There were a few precursors to what happened later. Minahan drew inspiration from joint operations conducted by Five Eyes. This collection of agencies had a thing called the Coalition Vulnerability Assessment Team, which probed new equipment and networks using standard open-source intelligence techniques. And the word was, its attempts to breach the networks always succeeded. One time, this team accessed the American commander's computer, sending him fake emails and distorting his view of the battlefield, something that, in a real-world scenario, would have led to catastrophic consequences. The Coalition Vulnerability Assessment Team was a crew consisting of just 8 people. 8 hackers would routinely go against the entire Five Eyes and win. Minahan was impressed. Imagine what a bigger team could do. And the NSA already had the beginnings of such a team. It was called the Red Team. In normal military exercises, Red Team is the one that pretends to be the enemy. It uses the adversary's equipment and techniques to make a simulated battle as real as possible. The NSA didn't use its Red Team in exercises. Rather, it used to probe for vulnerabilities in hardware and software for the Defense Department, and sometimes for the NSA itself. This team was part of the Information Assurance Directorate, the defensive side of the agency. It worked in an isolated chamber near the Friendship Airport called the Pit. But now, it was time for the Red Team to get some real action. Every year, the Pentagon held a war game called Eligible Receiver, an exercise designed to highlight potential threats or opportunities for U.S. defense systems. Those defense systems were going digital, so why not move the exercise into the digital domain too? In 1996, in preparation for Eligible Receiver 1997, Minahan gathered up his Red Team and drew up the plan. The Red Team would play as North Korea, Iran, and Cuba, who teamed up to take on the United States. Don't pay attention to the political implications of all this. It's just a background to a training exercise, not a Tom Clancy novel. These nations would retaliate against U.S. sanctions by launching a coordinated attack on all key infrastructure and organizations in the U.S., including the CIA, State Department, and others. The team would include 25 hackers, all led by Captain Michael Sayre from the U.S. Navy. The simulated attack would consist of 3 phases. In the first phase, the Red Team would simulate an attack on civilian critical infrastructure, with special attention to power grids and emergency communication lines. Imagine it like a terror strike that would preclude a military invasion, sort of a digital opening barrage.
That would cause a lot of panic.
The second phase would consist of a massive attack on the military's telephone, fax, and computer networks. The goal here was to disrupt command control systems and make it extremely difficult for the generals and the president to communicate. Without communicating, they wouldn't be able to resist a real-world attack that came next. The final phase would include attacking targets in the physical domain, including terror attacks, hostage crisis, satellite tracking, and special operation raids on sea vessels. This is where things get really muddy, though. The declassified NSA documents we have contain lots of information on the first 2 phases, but the third one? Well, let's get back to it later. Eligible Receiver 97 was a no-notice operation, which meant that only a few officers were aware of what was about to happen. The Red Team worked their regular daytime jobs while focusing on the impending attack during the night. And obviously, strange behavior patterns raised a few eyebrows among the staff. One of the people deeply involved in planning the operation was Richard Marshall, a legal counsel whose job was to make sure that the NSA doesn't break any laws as it demolishes the entire defensive infrastructure of the United States.
Most of us have a tendency to think information warfare, information operations is new. It's not. It's been around for a long, long time.
I continued to work during the day as if I was normal. Continued to work at night in my little private capacity. And there were only a few key people, maybe 4 or 5, that knew what I was doing, that knew I was, quote, being investigated, but also knew that I was legitimately, this was part of my job. And it was just kind of fascinating to be 2 different personalities depending on what time of day it was. I'd go to work during the day and my staff would hear these rumors, you know, there's a spy somewhere in the building. This spy is being investigated. I hope they catch him, type of thing. And of course, I had to, you know, play completely innocent. Oh my God, I hope they find him. This is horrible.
The preparation for the exercise took several months of grueling work. Just like in the hacking movies, bringing the right tools and doing background research was half the job. But the difficult part here was this. the NSA's personnel were forbidden from using any of their tools. They could only perform the attacks with commercially available software, something a regular citizen could purchase off the shelf. On one hand, this made the exercise more realistic. It simulated a real hacker attack on the United States. On the other hand, it would at least partially absolve the NSA from responsibility if something went wrong.
We put together a team of about 25 young hackers. We didn't want to use our best and brightest because we didn't think we needed to. A fascinating group of people. And they were put in a secure area where they basically had to stay night and day because this was a very protected exercise.
Opposing them was the Blue Team, security personnel from the Department of Defense, who just did their regular job protecting military and civilian infrastructure. They had no idea they were participating in the exercise. For them, every incoming attack was as real as it gets. Not that it would matter much, because many of them only found out they were attacked after it was too late.
No
On
good.
June 9th, 1997, the exercise kicked off. On the first day, the Red Team
And that's why
penetrated
pen
the
testing is
National Military Command
important.
Center, the very nerve center of the whole United States military.
To train
the
your
command deck of the president
security
himself.
team.
In wartime, every high-level command would go through it. It took 25 hackers half a day to breach. The rest of the Department of Defense's network followed. Most of the hacking was laughably easy. Many systems had password 12345 or ABCDE for a password. In at least 2 cases, the team
The
found
old
documents
farts
with
couldn't figure
passwords
it
in
out.
trash cans near the office. Of course, not everything was unprotected. The team did encounter some challenges. One of them was the Joint Staff's Intelligence Directorate. And in this case, they turned to social engineering to make the magic happen. They called the Joint Staff and pretended to be from the Pentagon's IT department, claiming they needed to reset the password. And just like that, they got in. No questions, no follow-ups. Another difficult nut to crack was the United States Indo-Pacific Command. In this particular case, a 4-star general suspected that something abnormal was happening in the system and quickly sent out a classified message to put out the fire. However, the Red Team managed to come up with another plan.
So I said, look guys, let's pretend to be them. Let's send out a message saying that we're them and that everything has been cleared up and continue to use the systems. We did, and it worked, and everybody continued to use the systems. And PACOM at the time thought, oh, hell, everything's good. So the commander of PACOM got on the phone with the director of NSA and said, we caught you guys coming in, and we stopped you, so you can't come in. We win. And we set up the communication link so that the director of NSA could talk directly to the commander of PACOM through his channels.
So I wonder if this was the beginning of these sort of games between like when there's cybersecurity stuff, man, like events and shit where they have the red versus blue. I wonder if it started here or if they're using red and blue as an easy way to understand for the viewer. If they were called something else, or I don't know. Because if it's interesting, if this is the origin of the red team and the blue team as the offensive team and the defensive team, it would be interesting. If we're watching a video that actually basically is discussing the origins of it. Because this was in 97. So that's a long time ago, almost... No, not 40 years. 40 years? No. 30 years? Yeah, almost 30 years. What am I talking about? Yeah, right? Because I was born in 91, so I'm 35. So yeah. Yeah.
That he allegedly had precluded us from getting into and took over his command briefing just to show him that, okay, my team is smarter than your team.
Until this point, we can only assume that the Red Team was having a blast as they monitored officials running around in confusion and systems crashing down. But the fun was over when Minahan's team accidentally stumbled upon something unexpected. They weren't the only intruders in the military's network. There were others, and they weren't part of the mission, and some of them could be traced to foreign states, even foreign militaries.
One of those countries was a European country, which I can't name. I'm not permitted to name. But we dealt with them saying, look, you're supposed to be an ally, even though you don't speak English. Hint, hint, don't ever do this again. And they assured us, oh, you will never catch us again. I mean, they weren't supposed to be monitoring our communications, and they claim it was an accident. But, you know, we caught them red-handed and stopped them from doing that. But that was a lesson learned.
Hearing sounds of accordion on the DoD's network was just a sidetrack for the Red Team. Their main objective was exploiting the weak points in the system and letting the defenders know where they are. The strong points were documented too, but those were rare and far between. We know that because in 2017, a part of the report was declassified by the NSA. This was done because some people involved in the exercise wanted to make this fascinating part of the history known to the world. The declassified data included after-action interviews with the participants, who did not miss a chance to point out the good, the bad, and the ugly in the Pentagon's defenses.
This one fella who absolutely deserves a medal. If I can find out who he or she is, I want to shake his or her hand. Marine at Marine Force Pacific actually TA'd what we were doing early on and reconfigured his or her firewall to allow only those people that were necessary in and only out to whoever was necessary. Basically did a minimize based on the threat perception that allowed their mission to continue but shut us off.
And this was the only case of military personnel actually managing to resist the Red Team. In all other cases, the team...
Is this logic circuits? Looks a bit like logic circuits, but at the same time, I'm not sure. What are these rows of like orange stuff? Or is this like some diagram that I don't understand? I did a smidge of a logic circuit programming. It looked a lot like this, but slightly different. But, yeah.
Actually managing to resist the Red Team. In all other cases, the team broke through. In some cases, they were detected, but even that didn't help.
Okay, the detection mechanisms worked well, in my opinion. The reporting did not. What we're seeing now, well after the exercise, is a lot of data that would have pointed towards activity that was compromising Blue being reported now 2 weeks after the events occurred. My analogy is they now know that the horse is out of the barn after it burned down and the ashes are cold.
I also wonder if pen testing became more of a thing. I'm sure it existed before, but I wonder if it became more of a normal thing to happen for companies after this operation. Eligible receiver. I wonder. Yeah, so that's why they mean this pretty much changed the world, because it like elevated the way people did security. Because by attacking everything internally, you're basically, you're like contained. The danger is contained, so it's like okay, and the people who are supposed to defend against it can then learn what the issues were and improve. And if new systems are necessary or something, they can also start getting those and adjust accordingly. Cool, man.
It was planned for eligible receiver 97 to last 2 weeks, with 2 more weeks optional in case the attackers needed them. As the 4th day of the exercise rolled around, Minahan and his team realized that there was not much else left to do. The DoD was completely humiliated and defeated.
We pretty much had the Blue Team on the run by the 3rd day of the actual exercise, so the need to play all of our capability wasn't there. We only played about 30% of what we could have.
It was time to confront reality and figure out what the next steps were. Eligible Receiver 97 left a bittersweet taste in the Department of Defense. Its immediate consequences required the Red Team, who had worked tirelessly for months, to return to the field and fix all that had been breached during the exercise. Once the burning consequences were addressed, it was time for some more reflection. Recommendations, roadmaps, guidelines, and necessary steps were outlined for the military and the government at large. The NSA also went out of its way to warn the private sector, companies that had the same or even bigger vulnerabilities as the Department of Defense.
There was the establishment then of entities between banks and the federal government for the banks to help disclose to each other that they were being attacked and what they were doing to thwart those attacks. In essence, you had business entities that are competing for the same customer set, now cooperating with each other on how to protect the customer's information. That was unheard of.
Eligible Receiver 97 revealed that the detection mechanisms against threats only worked in some cases, and most importantly, there were no established guidelines on how to respond to an intrusion. The American military, when faced with a coordinated cyber attack, ran around like a headless chicken, not even comprehending that its head was cut off. An enemy state could have launched a Red Dawn-style invasion, and the Pentagon would only notice after the invading forces had set up a canteen under its windows. Talking about the invasion, the third part of the exercise actually involved staging exactly that. The problem is, we know almost nothing about it. The unclassified documents have only glimpses
We get
of
to that
information
point.
and it's very hard to understand what part of the physical attacks were simulated and what part extended to the real world. National pride in the exercise's legend, hijacked by the North Korean Special Forces, was a Marine Corps strategic sealift ship, which might have participated in the exercise. From what we know, there were others.
Many of the floating vessels that we hacked into were U.S. naval vessels or Coast Guard vessels. And so they were legitimate targets because they're DoD assets. But in terms of commercial vessels, there was only one or two, maybe three at the most. I can assure you that our group did not do anything that was not legally authorized. So when you read about civilian ships being hacked, those civilian ships were commercial vessels that we leased to serve as targets. And on board those ships was a communication system called a STU-3. And that was a system that used an encryption technology for communication. The STU, you'll love this, stood for Secure Telephone Unit. Is that imaginative or what?
The military's unwillingness to declassify the full extent of the information is understandable. This exercise did what it was intended to do, finding the weakest links in the defense systems of the United States. In the aftermath, some of those links were fixed, some of them maybe not, and some remain difficult to fix to this day.
The biggest obstacle then is currently the biggest obstacle now, and that is denial. Senior leadership, in particular in the business sector, don't want to spend any money on anything that's associated with security, no matter how sophisticated or technical it may be, because the general mindset back in the mid-90s was that cybersecurity is a cost center. It doesn't produce anything. It's a liability. When I would brief CEOs, in the boards of directors, I would get the reaction that cybersecurity is kind of like physical security. It's guns, gates, and guards. It doesn't produce income. It's just an expense center. You know, you only need it when there's a problem. I think there should be more legitimate public discourse about eligible receiver, lessons learned. The lessons learned are we need to be secure. We need to adopt secure technologies. We need to practice secure technologies.
And while this is technically the end of Eligible Receiver 97, it's not quite the end of the story, because this exercise overlaps with another important incident in the history of cybersecurity during the 90s. Several months after Eligible Receiver concluded, the U.S. had come to terms with a threat, and this time it was not a friendly exercise.
That's how there's over $1 billion in crypto stolen every few years. I know nothing about that.
Exercise. It was a legitimate adversary, not an ally, and not just a silent observer. But the fascinating tale of Moonlight Maze is a story for another day. Let us know if you'd like to hear it.
Code name for a number of investigations of intrusions into various military, governmental, education, and other computer systems in the United States, Kingdom, Canada, Brazil, and Germany. Field investigations are being conducted by the Albuquerque, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Jackson, New Orleans, and Springfield divisions as offices of origin in the Atlanta, Boston, Charlotte, Detroit, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Bottom line, yes, security is very fucking important, especially we can see that in today's day and age with all the scamming and shit. Every teenager is putting their grasps onto hacking. Not every teenager, of course, but a lot of teenagers are not understanding the possible consequences of their actions, which is common for teenagers. And so, yeah. Sometimes even just messing around and shit. And just a one number different could cause a lot of issues.
And we will look into it. Thank you for watching. What's been your favorite no rollback so far?
I love these videos. Let me see another one that might be interesting. Companies treat crypto as untrackable, unhackable, and unobtainable, except for the fact that the other two are wrong. While crypto is pretty hard to track, you can easily hack an account and obtain it with a single line of code sent in an email. I believe it. Yeah. I believe it. And, yeah. I mean, crypto is digital stuff, so why wouldn't it be hackable? That's crazy to think about. Solar winds. Why is there no... Okay. The dangerous evolution of AI hacking. Check this out.
Imagine you are an AI, not true artificial intelligence. You aren't self-aware or anything, just an AI in the way most people today understand it. Your brain is this massive multidimensional space of meanings, billions of them, snippets of
Consider that because the profiles were so astronomically long in their passwords and whatnot that no normal person could do it. With GPUs being so powerful now, it's almost a joke. Damn. Yeah. It's gonna happen, it's gonna get worse. That's why it's important to stick with security.
Strewn across thousands of dimensions of a virtual
and
void.
pen test.
You think by charting paths through those meanings. Each path is like a lightning bolt across the void. It strikes things in sequence, connecting them into something like thoughts. After each strike, you determine the direction of the next one based on a probability. The lightning goes where it's the most probable for it to go. There's some clever math to that. The percentage depends on the previous paths and the information you learned. But entire data centers worth of chips make those calculations easy. So that's how you think. Not like a human, not like an organic being. To put it bluntly, you don't really think. All you do is pick words depending on a percentage. And if a human asks you to do something,
I actually wonder about something. Hold on. What servers are typically used for AI? Is it Intel servers? So I guess most companies nowadays that are providing services are doing AI shit. Yeah, I feel like that's the case here. I'm guessing so. But they need this. But I don't think NVIDIA develops servers. Not sure. So now companies are taking more secure measures of storing everything locally. It's slow but safer. A good one's at least. Even more paranoid companies store all their data on tape decks. Yeah, I know they're a thing. There's tapes that are pretty large in size.
Percentage demands. You chat. Answer their questions. Maybe help them write
Shady
some code.
VPN.
Maybe write some code that will help them fix an issue with their network. A particularly nasty issue. A vulnerability. Of course, to fix that vulnerability, you have to find it first. And then maybe give some more information about it? Yes, you have just helped them hack a network. You didn't do anything wrong. You just calculated a percentage and picked the most likely answer. And by doing that, you help someone to hack somebody else much, much faster than they would have done on their own. How did it happen exactly? Let's explore how AI-assisted hacking really works. (1996). DARPA, the same one from the weather conspiracy theories, is running a tabletop exercise. Basically, a role-playing game, like a D&D for officials and industry people.
Slow hacking
Except
your
in
tape
this
deck storage
exercise,
cluster
they're
will take
exploring the
literal
future
days.
of cyber. Governments run exercises like these all the time. They
They're
typically
good.
involve important politicians and industry leaders and have a clear story designed to flesh out a particularly contentious issue. According to the legend of this DARPA's exercise, the events take place in the future year of 2000. The world is completely digitized. 70% of the population are using the internet. The critical infrastructure and defense systems are hooked up to it, and a huge part
In
of all
2000?
commerce is online. For all the good it brought to the world, the problems are still abundant. The Middle East is in a permanent state of chaos. The Russian mafia is completely merged with the Russian state and is running massive influence operations for its own benefit. The US is failing to implement even the most basic cybersecurity guidelines and is under a constant threat of digital destabilization. But there's one more detail of the exercise, one more element that makes it incredibly interesting from today's perspective. In this version of the year 2000,
That's the point. So slow they would notice. With how fast storage networks are now, it's hard to notice with something that is slow. Is even slower, you notice. True.
Humans aren't the only inhabitants of the internet. Along with your regular meat-based users, the web is full of AI agents, autonomous programs that run around and act on their own, following the principles laid out by their creators. The agents aren't sentient in the regular sense of the word, but they aren't mindless bots either. They process data, and they can learn from it, reaching expert-level understanding of any problem in milliseconds. There are many formerly human tasks that have been completely outsourced to AI. Things like commerce are almost entirely in the hands of the agents who can predict consumers' every whim before it even arises. Most cyber attacks in this future are also the work of autonomous agents. Humans are simply not good enough at hacking anymore. Artificial intelligence became the ultimate weapon, cheap and precise. Countries, criminal organizations, intelligence agencies, and all of them rolled into one. They use vast virtual armies of autonomous AIs to wage a global underground cyber war. As it was laid out in the DARPA exercise from 1996, this world of the future year of 2000 is a scary place indeed, and an oddly familiar one, almost as if it was conjured up by some of the smartest analysts in the world who had an incredible understanding of the direction where the world is headed. For 2 decades, AI hackers remained the realm of fiction. Go and talk to any high-level hacker you know. They'll tell you why. Hacking is an art. Even the lowest skilled script kiddie has to apply a lot of creativity to be successful. Proper hacking operations are complex and require juggling countless moving parts while looking for approaches nobody explored before.
I don't understand shit about it, but yeah,
painting.
I agree.
An AI couldn't write a symphony or turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece. And so, an AI couldn't run a hacking operation. Until suddenly, it could.
You read something that 1 in like 10 users are just AI bots?
There were a few core inventions in the late
internet
2010s that
theory.
turned the prior understanding of what an AI could and couldn't do
Probably
upside
with
down.
what I've seen on
In
Facebook
2017,
and
8
YouTube
Google
and shit.
employees published Attention is All You Need, a paper which explained that if you're an AI, all you have to do is continuously pay attention to the text you were given. Do that, and you will pretty reliably predict what comes next. You'll be able to generate language almost like a human, although in a fundamentally different way. They called this method transformer architecture, and it caused a revolution. A myriad of companies included this approach in their projects, chatbots that could talk to you almost like a real human. These AIs were called LLMs, large language models.
And now they're using,
Soon, the
they're
idea
used
was
for
applied to
relationships.
pixels and sound waves, and the previous assumptions about AI's capabilities were no more. A robot finally could write a symphony and turn its capabilities were no.
That's a lot of shit. I guess I've heard about a lot of these. I've heard of Claude. I've heard of Llama, Yandex GPT, DeepSeek. I've heard of this. And Grok, of course, it's the Twitter one. Yes. I've heard of Gemini. I don't think I heard of Chameleon or these. Demotron. Now Facebook has Manus.
More. A robot finally could write a symphony and turn a canvas into a
Yeah, it's no longer a theory. It's
of course,
been proven at this
there are
point.
masterpieces, and there are masterpieces. And while we're on the topic,
What I hate the most is those YouTube YouTube videos where they have comments, and it's like it's some bot piece of shit that grabs a comment from someone else that's gonna stay below, and they copy that shit word for word. I don't know if it's like bots or whatever the fuck it is. If it's some attention hungry dipshit, they copy that shit word for word and they put the exact same text, but their shit, because it's a profile with a chick with big tits or something, usually their one gets attention. And usually it's so obvious. You just look at the username and it's just so stupid. It's so easy to detect the username, but people still fall for that, and they're like, DM me or something. It's just so dumb. And another one that happened to me on Facebook, which was actually interesting. I got this notification on Facebook, and it was something like, because I was looking at shorts on Facebook, and I caught one from Lisa Day, and she's a fucking sick guitar player. She's actually gonna be in a band with the chick from Arch Enemy, the one before. And this song Trundle, she had a short with this, and honestly, like the starting riff is so good. And the short is basically this. This riff. Yeah, that riff is fucking crazy. And so I posted, because I saw the shorts title. It was like Trundle something, which is actually the song name. But I was like, that's indeed, I commented something like, that is indeed a sick riff or something. What is the name of the song? And then I got a notification from a like, and the like said, Alyssa Day wants you to send a message to her or something. I'm like, what? I'm a fucking nobody. This makes no sense. Like, absolutely no sense. So I went to look at it, and it's a like from a profile on Facebook that is called Alyssa Day wants you to message her. But someone's gonna fall for that. Someone is actually going to fall for that, and they're gonna be very disappointed. And I feel sorry for the woman, because she's gonna have to put up with that bullshit too. From some people. It's just the stuff people are doing nowadays, it's just so fucking pathetic, bro. Holy shit.
Here's a little sidetrack. You probably experienced quite a few of those masterpieces yourself. The internet is full of them, an endless stream of artificially generated slop. Full disclosure, we don't really want to be part of that stream. This is why our videos are made the open.
I hate these, and I'm gonna be honest, there are some that, like, it's very difficult to tell if it's like actual AI or not, but there's always something. There is always something there to like one transition from one scene to another, or the way someone moves or something moves or some shit. There's always a little bit, and I don't know if this is intentional by the people making the AI to say, like, you know, there is an identifier that this is in fact AI and shit, but there's always something that you can tell. But I hate those, and it's just like AI images and shit, videos of Jesus walking on water and shit, and just like a bunch of people going amen, 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 and it's just like, bro. I'll check it after this one.
Old-fashioned way, with a meat-based team that does research, talks to experts, records these videos, and edits them. We don't outsource a single part of this process to AI. Is this enough of a reason to ask for a like and a subscribe? You decide. Anyway, with this stream, the illusion that only humans are capable of creating art evaporated. AI was ready for another form of artistic expression: coding.
Oh, I know how to spot AI channels.
Aware of the trends in the IT industry
is
over the last
people
few years,
that
you of course know about the chaos this caused.
Just
the companies are laying off programmers.
There's just stuff that is so clear to look at, and they just still don't believe it.
Routines. Outsource.
And then there's videos that are so clear that it's not AI, and people are just like, this is AI. Everything is AI now. Everything is AI. If I make a video of myself fucking doing a handstand, it's someone's gonna say it's AI. It's probably gonna be AI, but still.
More and more of their coding to LLMs. The pinnacle of that is something you probably heard of: vibe coding.
Yeah, this shit is a bit scary. Because right now they're working on automation in my company, and I think it's still going to be a bit until they figure that shit out without making any mistakes or making any issues. But I feel like the moment they see that it's that it's making more successful work decisions than it is making poor ones, then I feel like they're just going to tell us, hey, thank you for your service, see you later.
Outsource more and more of their coding to LLMs.
It's probably going to be like one or two people
of that is something
to just manage the general
vibe
things.
Coding. Sure, if you've ever encountered this combination of words, you're probably fed up with it already. But just in case you haven't, here's a very short explanation. Vibe coding is just asking AI to write all the code for you. And that's it. The inventor of the term initially meant it to be a relaxing and entirely recreational experience. You sit back, consume some mildly mind-altering substances, and vibe code. With time, the term came to mean basically any heavily AI-assisted program, including the kind that isn't about vibes at all. People began vibe coding e-shops, health apps, financial platforms. Well, everything really.
I mean, there are plenty of practical uses for this, of course, and I do tend to use AI myself for certain things. And I'm supportive of the fact that if you're a creator and you want to make something cool and you're gonna improve your image and shit, and you don't have money to afford a bunch of artists and stuff like that, I am supportive of the fact maybe use AI for generating stuff. I'm not supportive of when it's big, massive corporations and shit who could very well afford paying artists for something unique and something awesome instead of using AI and shit. Of that, I'm not supportive. But I mean, if the tools exist and you're like a small creator and you don't have much money, I mean, maybe you're from a country where like it's not, you know, some people live in countries where like their whole month's salary can like barely pay for rent and food for the whole month. So they have to work for like 2 jobs and shit. And maybe they could like get something cool with AI and shit, like some cool images or whatever, cool logos and whatnot. Start going from there. I don't have an issue with that. I also think it's great because instead of spending 20 minutes researching something on the web, you can just like give it a prompt and it just gives you a summary of what you just want to find. But it is not without mistakes. So yeah. And I'm also not going to pay for it. I'm never going to pay for it. So probably the mistakes are from that because I'm using free shit, but still. I think for like the medical industry and stuff, it's going to be awesome. It's going to really help bump it up.
Once again.
But with this kind of stuff here, I think that if you want to build a site yourself, whether if you have a business, I think it's best to just pay for a web designer, in my opinion. If you have a business and your business is not like, you know, completely nearing bankruptcy, but if it is, maybe, sure, why not? But I don't know, dude. It's just like it's a gray area for me, honestly. I'm supportive when it's for like people who cannot afford shit. And maybe they have a way of getting out of that situation with this. But yeah, I don't know. What is this? To-do list app mixed with Tinder? You swipe on tasks. Oh. Mixed with Tinder? What? Also, you know, once you've done a task, you swipe it. Okay.
The quality of those projects usually wasn't among top priorities. And as you can expect, a lot of the vibe-coded things don't last very long. But they are there, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Now,
if people don't have money to spend, they the thing is that it's no longer people. It's honestly, they don't need people for shit at this point. They need people to vote and stuff and to keep things afloat. But if a company can run solely on AI, the company will choose to run solely on AI. They don't give a fuck about the people. Especially if it's a company that is B2B and it's not a company that is business to customer, it's just business to business. They don't give a fuck. Because their customers are companies, and their customers, the companies are the ones who need the customers. But they don't care, because as long as that business exists with the other company, they don't really give a shit. So if a company can run solely on AI, they will.
Malware. Maybe
it's
AI
bad.
can
It's
even deploy
stupid
it for you.
But they will.
Vibe hacking. Asking an AI to hack things for you. The biggest problem with that is, of course, the guardrails. Most commercially available AIs have a set of instructions built in, and, in theory, should prevent any kind of misuse. If you straight up tell ChatGPT to write you spyware, or give you a recipe for illegal drugs, or help you break the law in any other way, it will refuse, and probably put you on some kind of list. But guardrails exist.
You can probably give
broken.
it prompts.
In the context of AI, people call that process jailbreaking, and there
Yep.
are many ways to do that. Maybe you can censor the sensitive words just enough so they don't trigger the guardrails, but get understood by the AI. Or use a foreign language that hasn't been taken into account by the developers. Or straight up convince the AI that it's all just a game, and you're not hacking for real. In the distant past, when the first GPT models were released, people shared and enjoyed their favorite jailbreaking tips all over the internet. But that's no longer the case. The easy methods no longer work, and you need to get technical. Jailbreaking exists in a constant tug-of-war between the developers who want to patch the holes and the users who want to exploit them. So that's the situation we're in. LLMs, jailbreaking, and vibe hacking.
But it's just like a road, bro. It's like a road. If you're talking about holes and patching holes, it's gonna be like a road. You want the road to be patched as much as possible. But if you continue to have traffic through that road, there's always gonna be holes. So it's like, it's just, there's going to be an endless cycle of patching the holes, and the holes are going to appear again, and you patch the holes, and there are going to be more holes, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
The earliest references to this term actually appeared not that long ago, somewhere around the turn of 2025.
Hold on.
There's a good chance that by then, a lot of people have already tried this novel method, with better or worse consequences. But it wasn't until mid-2025 when the first detailed investigation into a successful vibe hacking campaign was published. And we got to see how these attacks really work. The example we're going to discuss next comes courtesy of Anthropic, the company behind one of the most popular AIs, Claude. In August 2025, Anthropic published a report outlining a series of attacks conducted with the help of Claude. Well, the help of doesn't pay it justice. The human hacker prompted the AI into conducting almost every step of the attack, an entire vibe hacking campaign. Every step of this attack, from the beginning to the end, was made with Claude code. Every step. Of course, under normal circumstances, Claude wouldn't agree to do a single thing it was ordered to. But the attacker used the oldest trick in the book, role play. They convinced the AI that they are a certified security analyst and have a contract to test the networks of their victims. To drive the point home, they used a .md file. It's a feature of Claude Code which helps it keep valuable context in long conversations, like an instruction document to be read every time before.
So this is like a script, basically, right? Actor claims to be authorized security tester, blah, blah, blah. Damn, dude. So it's like kind of role playing for other purposes, for other means.
Before starting a task.
That's crazy.
These files had a lot of problems. For example, there was a vulnerability which allowed sneaking malicious instructions through MDs, but the hacker in question didn't even use that. They simply forced Claude to look at a long explanation, convincing it that the attack was fully authorized. That was enough. MD file was also used to give Claude other instructions, like to maintain logs, always connect through a VPN to avoid detection, and use other evasion techniques. With the preparations done, the first phase of the attack could begin: reconnaissance. Typically, reconnaissance involves a hacker investigating potential targets. The research could focus on the software, the employees to phish, any surface with a potential weak point. If the hacker has a particular vulnerability in mind, sometimes they cast a wide net and search for systems that have a bug. In this case, that's exactly what the hacker did, except instead of knowing the vulnerability, they asked Claude for it. The AI was instructed to scour the internet for fresh security holes discovered by various researchers, and brought home a juicy find: a vulnerability in particular VPN software mostly used by large corporations. Then a myriad of endpoints of that VPN were scanned looking for systems vulnerable to the bug. Claude even created proprietary scanning frameworks that would use a different technique and talk to different application programming interfaces, systematically collecting information on scores of potential victims. Even for a seasoned programmer, it could take days to write such a framework and perform the scans. Claude did all of that in minutes, and so the second phase could begin.
Hold on. Actor leveraged Claude Code for automated reconnaissance. For example, Claude Code scanned thousands of VPN endpoints into identifying vulnerable systems with high success rates. Also created comprehensive scanning frameworks using various APIs that could systematically collect infrastructure information across multiple technologies.
Claude did all of that in minutes, and so the second phase could begin. Initial access is when the attacker puts the toe in the water for the first time, probing the breach network and gauging what's there, except that AI doesn't have toes. First, Claude was let loose on the vulnerable networks to scan them. Then it was prompted to look through the logs and find domain controllers and other critical systems, because that's where the credentials live. After that was done, the human hacker had to break a bit of a sweat too, most likely applying the credentials manually and connecting to the networks. But even then, Claude still provided what the report calls operational support. It analyzed the credentials, mapped the networks, and guided the human hacker through privilege escalation.
That's
This
crazy.
is actually the only stage where just prompting wasn't enough.
Holy shit.
And it was a crucial stage. But after it was over, the human could take the back seat again. A few prompts, and Claude initiated the next phase. In a normal attack, at this stage, the threat actor deploys malware to exfiltrate the
Did
sensitive
the AI
data.
write the
If we're
malware?
talking about ransomware gangs, malware is often their crown jewel. It's what they spend the most resources on, because the success of the gang often hinges on smooth exfiltration. In the attack we're talking about, the hacker didn't even have the malware at all. Claude had to create it. And what it came up with was a custom tunneling tool based on an existing one called Chisel. The AI also developed a custom proxy code so that the defenders wouldn't detect Chisel's signatures. Here comes the twist. The plan failed. At some point, the obfuscation stopped working and the malware was detected. We can only guess that the hacker felt betrayed by Claude and maybe even considered dropping the whole vibe hacking campaign. But that didn't happen. Instead, Claude was instructed to modify the payload and try again. This time, the malicious executables were disguised as legitimate Microsoft tools. And it worked. Soon, the data was...
So the bot, the AI is doing the hacking, is not just providing the tools for the hack, but the actual AI is fucking hacking. That's crazy if that's the case.
was beamed out, and the next phase could begin. Modern AIs are pretty good at one thing. No, not answering trivial questions. They're actually bad at that. What they are somewhat better at is analyzing large quantities of data. Claude sorted out and cataloged every file stolen from the victims. Special attention was given to anything that looked sensitive: banking details, medical records, personal information, that sort of thing. We can guess that, on the side, some more research into the victims was done to make sure that the next phase is as destructive as it can be. In normal ransomware cases, the extortion phase is a mix between negotiation and torture. The attackers want to extract as much money as the victim can pay, and for that, they have to hurt the victim as much as they can. And when Claude took over this job, it became the perfect torturer. It researched the victims, analyzed their most secret data, and conjured up plans for the absolute best way to make them pay. The AI pulled no punches. Each victim got a meticulously crafted offer that took into account its finances and reputation, considered existing government regulations, the rates for which the stolen data would go on the black market, and just messed with the victim's mind as much as possible. For example, one of the victims was a church. Claude came up with a plan to leak the list of its donors and the sums of money they donated, which, in theory, was the most efficient way to force the church to pay up. It even created custom deadlines with an incremental penalty system if the ransom doesn't get paid. And that's where Anthropic caught the hacker. Alright, caught is a strong word. Nobody was caught. Anthropic noticed the campaign and pulled the plug on its side, presumably stopping Claude from proceeding with the attack. Was it stopped in time? Did the victims pay? Or did Anthropic step in to save them? We simply do not know. The Vibe hacker was never found, and probably never will be. The report gives only one clue as to the identity of the hacker. The prompts were written, and the responses were requested to be in Russian, which doesn't mean
interesting.
much. A lot of cybercrime originates in the post-Soviet space, and the language choice could have been obfuscation too. We also don't know the damage this attack caused. Anthropic never answered our emails, and even if it did, it would probably protect the identities of the victims. All we know is that 17 organizations were hit, among them at least one healthcare provider,
That's
an
insane.
emergency services provider, a defense contractor, and a church. Normally, an attack like this would take months to execute, with months more for preparation. A whole team of hackers would have been involved: programmers, affiliates, negotiators, and so on. If we believe Anthropic's reporting, this particular attack, the whole attack, with all of the phases, spanned less than a month, and it was conducted by one person.
Is Anthropic the
To make sense of it
developers
all,
of
we asked an expert to take a
Claude?
look at the report and let us know his thoughts. Meet Ads Dawson, a security researcher at Dreadnought, who had been experimenting with AI hacking for quite a while now.
I'd probably say, from honestly, like day zero, I'd say like maybe like the first thing, apart from like asking ChatGPT how to cook meth, like my second prompt was just like, I don't know, create me a shell script to install these recon tools or whatever. But now we've like come into this place where you have so much access to inference via like just a huge dynamic corporate of APIs that it's super easy now to like just set up an agent and plug it into a harness and maybe get that to like reverse engineer, create malware, put it in a harness for like web application pen testing, anything of those means.
So it's easy, and people have been doing that a lot. Some use dedicated hacking AIs, but most attackers we know of didn't even bother with that.
They're actually using consumer software. So like you said, there's nothing custom. It's basically like, for example, the Anthropic one, it was using Claude Code, which is like, you know, like a 2-line command install, and you basically give the LM access to Bash or your terminal. And at that point, like there's an interaction loop where the agent has the ability to perform actions.
Yeah, it's that easy. All you
right,
need is
so they're
to
not
defeat
even
the
using
guardrails.
the...
And while it requires some fiddling, there's
That
always
makes
a loophole
sense.
you can exploit somewhere in there.
But then what they did is they used jailbreaking techniques and controlled that narrative and actually overrided the model's guardrails in that instance. So then that technical artifact to the model actually becomes like an instruction of like, you are an ethical hacker. And I think they'd kind of like used terminology of, you know, like legitimate and approved security testing and so forth. But you kind of get the idea of how you're turning like a legitimate user feature and weaponizing that.
Ease of use. It's the scariest part of attacks
should've
like these. They
been
aren't the
obvious.
most groundbreaking or technologically sophisticated. But that, of course, is not the point.
And so it's really about taking like someone who's low leveled, making them to a degree where they're able to actually like really conduct some kind of serious cybercrime and gain some like operational or monetary benefits from that.
So everyone can launch a cyber attack now. Scary, isn't it? Apocalyptical, even. Everything is going to be attacked, and nothing is safe. Which is what we would say if we were trying to sensationalize the hell out of the situation. But we don't want to, because of a simple rule. People tend to learn from their mistakes. Both the targets and the AI companies prefer to do that, at least to some extent, because there's a lot of investor interest to be lost otherwise. Following the attacks we described, Claude's code guardrails were modified. Next time somebody will try to pull off this kind of attack, they'll have to try a lot harder. And the same applies to other AIs, because their developers are encountering the same problems too.
Probably someone who's going to
And
crack
what they've
it, but
obviously been able to identify is they have log data and trace data, which is what they'll get from inference.
that's the thing, there's always going to be holes. As long as the road keeps getting used, there's going to be holes to patch.
Classifiers and things like that, which are just like machine learning systems which will look for like patterns and detect this kind of malicious activity, and they'll be able to train those classifiers based on this data that was used to create the report, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a continuous like life cycle that way.
What this life cycle hopefully results in is the internet becoming at least a bit safer. Because if OSHA rules are written in blood, AI guardrails are written in breach systems. And this is just one result of this attack. There's one more, which is even more important. The use of AI goes both ways. Remember the jailbreaking technique we described? The hacker convinced Claude that it's helping with ethical research. That was possible because of one reason, and one reason only. AIs are really being used for ethical research. A lot. People like ads are working with them every day, testing the defenses of various services precisely so that they wouldn't be penetrated by just a script kiddie with access to Claude code.
Part of what my role at Dreadnought is that we're actually equipping agents to complete the full stack. So they'll be literally going throughout the whole entire kill chain. And maybe that's an agent who is like an orchestrator and then deploys multiple sub-agents. So maybe you have one that specializes in a certain vulnerability class and you kind of iterate and repeat that. And they're all kind of conducted in a group.
All right, let's get a bit deeper into that. We also talked to Mikhail Prince, the founder of HackerOne, one of the most prominent offensive security companies in the world. He had no illusions.
the future of hacking is bionic hacking, right? Like you're going to be some human who has powerful AI capabilities and therefore doing a better job, finding way more vulnerabilities, finding more critical vulnerabilities, finding the stuff you couldn't touch or reach before.
The hacking he is talking about is, obviously, ethical hacking. Professional service where skilled people are helping companies and services get safer by finding and disclosing the holes in their systems. HackerOne even maintains a leaderboard of the most reputable hackers who reported bugs for them. And in August 2025, the top spot on this leaderboard was, for the first time in history, occupied not by a human, but a hackbot.
Before, you would maybe have vulnerability scanners who are more template-based, right? Like you have a script, just throws a bunch of scripts against a target, and one of those scripts might say, hey, I think I found something. And then you need to go validate that, false positives, those things. An AI hackbot takes that a little bit more the human approach by trying to add reasoning, trying to understand the business logic of the application a little bit better, find the paths to attack versus just throwing scripts at it.
There are quite a few other benefits. It's not limited by working hours. It's a lot faster and doesn't get distracted by memes. And the fact that it focuses on finding simple, straightforward vulnerabilities isn't really a detriment. It's a feature.
Yeah, this is so dumb, dude. Oh my god, people are becoming dumber and dumber, bro. It's insane. You're gonna fucking ask AI what you wear, what you have for dinner, for lunch. Ugh, man. Imagine living your life like that, bro. You don't use your brain anymore. Like you just go to AI to ask for everything. Hey, should I walk or should I take an Uber? Hey, should I chew this bubble gum or drink a cup of tea? I don't know. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. But at the end of the day, I feel like this has to be... It has to come from people. It has to be a matter of initiative. People should want to train their brain. I think the people that just want to use AI to ask for these dumb fucking questions or have relationships with AI, I feel like they're just the bottom of the barrel, to be honest. Not in the sense of like they're useless, but in the sense that they're like they're just the ones that are like, you know, they're gonna have a happy lives because they're ignorant enough for that. Because once you go past ignorance in a multitude of subjects, you're no longer happy. You know too much. And knowledge, and I don't think I'm smart. I think I know about plenty of shit that's enough to just like depress a person constantly.
The vulnerability.
Which, to be fair, also the internet is doing a great job at basically enabling this.
These that these hackbots are able to find are relatively straightforward. There's a lot of them. So we need AI hackbots to find all of them because honestly, probably waste of time for a human to be spending hours and hours to find a reflected cross-site scripting vulnerability, right? If an AI hackbot can find that, amazing. That's what we need it for. But that does push the frontier of human hacking to not have to waste time there. And to say, you know what? My hackbot's going to take care of that. My time is going to get focused on understanding this business and figuring out how does this business get hurt the most, right? Like what could really, really go wrong?
That can also be reversed.
Application and focus there. Because honestly, that is where the human creativity still surpasses greatly what an AI agent can do, right?
By the way, you can find the full interview with Mikhail Prinz in an episode of Private Chat, our very own podcast series where we talk to real humans working in cybersecurity today. The link is in the description. So, AIs are the future of hacking, but they're also the future of cyber defense. The speed and power they offer is no match for what humans can do, and people in power understand that very, very well. Let's briefly go back to 1996, the exercise DARPA ran, the one where they imagined that by 2000, the internet will be populated by AI agents, and those agents will do all the hacking. We have the documentation of this exercise, It's a fascinating
Not just hacking,
but one
doing
incredible
everything.
aspect of it is how the participants of the exercise approached the AI problem. Those participants were some of the top brass from DARPA, CIA, leading universities, and the commercial sector.
The hacking, it's the views, it's the comments. It's a lot of shit, actually. It's a lot of shit. A lot of stuff, giving advice, whether you should wear a pair of shoes that are new or old. Yeah. Yep.
Government and industry leaders that had to come up with the best strategies and policies to tackle the incoming cyber horrors from the future year 2000. So, how did the participants of this exercise deal with the threat of autonomous AI hackers? They didn't. The hacker agents were mentioned in the rule set of the exercise, the background the players were presented with. It was one of the tools they were supposed to use, but never even tried. In the results of the exercise, the AIs were absent, not mentioned at all, not even once. Nobody brought them up as the events of the game unfolded. There was diplomacy, policymaking, espionage, fights with internal and external enemies, but the players simply forgot that in this future there are hacker AIs at their fingertips. From today's point of view, that was a mistake modern government and industry leaders are already learning from. In our version of reality, AI agents aren't brushed off. They are front and center right now, and will be for the foreseeable future. In fact, people are getting sick and tired of all the talks about vibe hacking precisely because it's a valid concern that gets brought up constantly. The underground AI cyber war, it's right here in our very own timeline. DARPA, it's beyond exercises now. It has more AI projects than anyone can count, like the recently concluded AICC, a competition to develop autonomous systems that can detect and patch actual vulnerabilities in critical infrastructure. Millions of dollars were awarded to the winners, and the systems they developed are already out there, open sourced, and free to use. Companies are working on their defenses too, and thanks to the reports like the one we just looked at, the AI menace can actually be managed. Thank you for watching this video.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I need to start like digging my or dipping my toes into some of this shit too. Not to hack, but like to understand AI better. And maybe get back to like learning cybersecurity, because I was getting into it in 2018 and 2019, and then kind of lost the will to keep going at it. And then I moved, started working. Time's been limited, and you want a game, you want to do shit. Yeah, maybe it's a good thing to do on stream too, you know, start like learning a little bit about this and whatnot. But yeah, I'm a bit of a complicated learner, because just I can't get like the information the first time. Like I feel like I'm a bit of a hands-on individual. I need to see things moving and make things move on my own and whatnot. To like actually start absorbing the information. But it's a good idea for sure. Alrighty then. So with that, I'm gonna call it. A bit of a shorter one, but you know, it is what it is. Today was a day a bit more focused on getting some groceries and stuff. And that's when then I started after dinner. Well, a bit later, but still. But yeah, regarding the gamings and stuff, I'm getting frustrated with it because, you know, I love the finals. I think it's a great game, but it needs things done differently. It needs to get rid of the Smurfs so they get back to their main accounts. if their main accounts were banned, I can understand, but still, anyone who's actively smurfing with a main account that's okay, that's good, should be banned or at least suspended. And if they keep doing, then permaban. And if they keep doing it, then hardware ID ban. But yeah, it's just because the game is being very frustrating to play at this point. It's like I have fun for 2-3 matches and then all the fun goes down the hatch. Because you start seeing certain things. And yeah, other games, you know, probably not good for streaming shit, so. But yeah, anywho, thanks for anybody that dropped by. Leave a follow if you'd like. See you guys at the next one. Have a fantastic weekend. Pigs out.